What would you think if I told you that the man who broke your heart was not the one you loved, but a ghost you conjured from the depths of your own unconscious? Imagine the crushing weight of that revelation, the dizzying collapse of your carefully constructed narrative. For so many women, the journey of love and loss is not an external battlefield, but an internal labyrinth, a shadow dance where the figures on the stage are not real people, but archetypal projections. A woman falls not for the man himself, but for the myth he represents: the stoic warrior, the wounded boy, the charismatic trickster, all reflections of her own inner needs and unhealed wounds. This is the pua aeternus, the eternal boy who shows up in different masks, drawing you into his endless adolescence. And it is the pua in you who answers his call. She sees his vulnerability as a mission, his lack of direction as potential, and his emotional unavailability as a challenge to be overcome. She doesn't realize she is projecting her own unfulfilled need for a savior onto him, believing that if she can just fix him, she will finally be worthy of love. This is the first great illusion, the anima projection, where the unconscious feminine, the soul, is projected onto a man, making him a scream for her deepest desires and fears. She doesn't see him, she sees her own unlived life, her own potential for wholeness, mirrored back at her through his flaws and his promises. She mistakes the intensity of her projection for the depth of his character. When he inevitably fails to live up to her myth, the devastation is profound. It's not just the loss of a man, it's the collapse of a fantasy, the shattering of the self-deception that was propping up her ego. This moment is not a failure, it is a moment of initiation. The universe is asking you to turn inward, to reclaim the energy you poured into this phantom, and to begin the arduous, sacred work of individuation. The path to your own kingdom does not lie in another person, it lies within. It begins by confronting the very parts of yourself you have tried to disown. The shadow is not a villain, it is a warehouse of your unexpressed power. The parts of you that are angry, selfish, calculating, and untamed are not flaws to be hidden, but allies to be integrated. A woman who fears her own rage will attract a man who gives her a reason to be angry. A woman who denies her own ambition will be drawn to a man who stifles her growth. The external world is always a mirror of the internal landscape. You attract not what you want, but what you are ready to heal. This is the hard truth, the one that makes the ego recoil. It is much easier to blame him, to paint him as the villain, and to cast yourself as the blameless victim. But the Jungian queen knows better. She understands that the man who hurt her was merely a symptom of a deeper wound. He was a catalyst, a necessary friction that forced her to confront her own patterns of self-abandonment and emotional codependency. She understands the profound wisdom in Seneca's words: what is difficult is to know one's own self. Her pain is the very path to her power. It is the fire that burns away the old, false self, leaving behind a more solid, more authentic core. The wound is the doorway And beyond that doorway lies a new kind of freedom, one not reliant on a man's love, but on a woman's unwavering self-acceptance. The next stage of this initiation, this sacred descent, is the confrontation with the anima mundi, the soul of the world, and its reflection within you, your own deep feminine wisdom. For centuries, this wisdom has been externalized, projected onto goddesses, saints, and mythic figures. A woman has been taught to seek her worth in the eyes of a man, to find her validation in his desire, and to measure her femininity by his attention. This external quest is an endless, soul-sucking game. It is the ego's frantic search for a shortcut to wholeness, a desperate attempt to bypass the arduous inner journey. This is the ultimate trap of the pure, both male and female, the eternal search for the external savior, the one who will magically confer a sense of value and meaning. But the Jungian queen knows that her sovereignty is an internal state. She understands that the man she once sought to fix was merely a shadow of the inner work she needed to do for herself. He was the external manifestation of her own unintegrated masculine principle, the animus, the unconscious male energy within her. Perhaps her animus was a critical judge, whispering that she wasn't good enough, or an emotionally distant figure, teaching her to fear true intimacy. By projecting these internal struggles onto a man, she created a toxic dance of push and pull, a drama that felt like love, but was in fact a psychological reenactment of her own trauma. This is the core of the matter. You are not drawn to him because he is the right man for you, but because he is the perfect reflection of your own unconscious wounds. He is the stage on which your deepest shadow work must be performed. This is the hard, beautiful truth that sets you free. When you stop looking for a man to complete you, you begin the sacred task of completing yourself. You start to integrate the different parts of your psyche. The *** inner masculine ***, your animus, is no longer a ghost of a man you once knew, but a source of strength, clarity, and direction within you. The fierce, protective warrior that you once wished he would be is actually your own, waiting to be claimed. The discerning, logical voice that helps you set boundaries and make rational decisions is not a quality you need to find in a partner, but a part of yourself you must cultivate. This is the true meaning of alchemy, transforming the lead of your pain and codependency into the gold of self-possession and psychological wholeness. To do this, you must become a student of your own behavior. Marcus Aurelius taught, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." Your thoughts, your beliefs about love and worth, are the very architecture of your reality. You must become a silent observer of your emotional reactions. Why does his text message, or lack thereof, send a jolt of anxiety through you? What old wound is that triggering? This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about understanding yourself. It's about detaching from the emotional whirlwind and observing it with a compassionate, curious mind. This is the *** practice of individuation, *** in action. You are no longer the one being acted upon by circumstances. You are the one observing the drama and choosing a different path. The Jungian queen understands that love is not a transaction where you give parts of yourself away in exchange for validation. Love is a state of being, an overflowing of your own wholeness. She is a sun, not a moon, and does not need to reflect another's light to shine. She is a sovereign being, and her life is a testament to the powerful truth that the most profound relationship she will ever have is the one she has with herself. This is where the Stoic philosophy enters the sacred chamber of the Jungian queen. Epictetus, the great philosopher of resilience, taught that we are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our opinion of what happens to us. Your heartbreak was not the event itself, but the meaning you assigned to it. You believed it meant you weren't enough, that you were unlovable, that you were fundamentally flawed. These are not facts. They are stories your ego told you to make sense of the pain, to give it a name and a face, even if that name was him. The final initiation is to become the master storyteller of your own life, to reclaim the narrative from the wounded ego and rewrite it from the perspective of the sovereign self. The sovereign self, the true queen, knows that she is whole on her own. Her love is not a desperate plea for connection, but a generous offering from a full heart. She doesn't need a man to feel worthy. She knows her worth is innate, a birthright of her very existence. This is the *** individuation *** process. At its highest level, the merging of the conscious self with the unconscious, the integration of all the disowned parts, the healing of the primal wound. It is the realization that the love you were seeking from another was the love you needed to give yourself all along. The man who hurt you was a teacher, a harsh but necessary guide who showed you the exact places where you were still giving your power away. He was the catalyst for you to finally choose yourself. This choice is the most difficult and the most liberating one you will ever make. It requires a radical act of self-love, a commitment to your own growth and well-being above all else. It means saying no to the emotional roller coaster, to the what-ifs and the if-onlys. It means choosing peace over drama and solitude over a toxic connection. It means embracing the silence and the space that opens up when you stop chasing and start standing still. This solitude is not loneliness, it is the sacred container in which you can finally hear your own voice, the deep, true whisper of your soul that has been drowned out by the noise of external validation. The final test is to love without attachment. This is the ultimate freedom. It is the ability to connect with another human being from a place of wholeness, not need. You can appreciate a man for who he is, enjoy his company, share in his journey, but your happiness is not contingent upon his presence or his approval. This is the difference between true love and a projection. True love sees the other person for who they are, flaws and all, and honors their journey without feeling responsible for their outcome. A projection is an emotionally charged fantasy, a dream you have about another person that has nothing to do with their reality. When you release the need to make a man a god or a villain, you free him to be just a man, and you free yourself to be just a woman, whole and complete in your own right. So, this is your final initiation. It is not about finding the right man, it is about becoming the right woman. A woman who is so profoundly in love with her own journey, so dedicated to her own growth, and so secure in her own worth that she cannot be shaken by the actions of another. She is no longer a victim of her circumstances, but a conscious creator of her own reality. She is the queen of her own kingdom, and her crown is the unwavering belief in herself. Now we arrive at the threshold of the most profound shift, a transition from the archetypal analysis of the past to the lived, breathing reality of the present moment. This is where the theory becomes practice, where the shadow work and Stoic wisdom cease to be abstract concepts and become the very fabric of your existence. The Jungian queen, having integrated her shadow and reclaimed her projections, no longer seeks her worth in the eyes of a man. She finds it in the quiet dignity of her own presence. This is not a state of being she achieves and then rests in. It is a constant mindful practice. It is in the mundane moments that her true power is forged. The final initiation is the practice of non-attachment a concept that is often misunderstood as cold detachment. It is in fact the opposite. Non-attachment is the ability to love deeply, to connect authentically, to engage fully with life and with others, without your inner peace being contingent upon the outcome. It is the understanding that you can appreciate the beauty of a sunset without needing to own the Sunday. In the context of relationships, it means you can cherish a man's company without needing him to be your forever, without needing him to validate your self-worth, and without needing his love to be the source of your happiness. This is not a game of emotional poker. It is the ultimate expression of emotional maturity and self-trust. When you operate from a place of non-attachment, your interactions with men shift entirely. You stop scanning for validation and start engaging with genuine curiosity. You stop trying to manipulate outcomes and start simply enjoying the process of getting to know another person. The needy, anxious energy that once repelled men is replaced by a calm, confident magnetism that is both powerful and irresistible. A man is drawn not to your desperation, but to your wholeness. He senses that you are not looking for someone to fill a void, but for someone to share your fullness with. This is the energy of the sacred feminine, self-contained, deeply rooted, and powerfully magnetic. This is also the moment when you must guard against the final temptation of the ego. Having done the work, having reached this state of empowerment, the ego might whisper that you are now ready to find a man. But all of this was just preparation for a relationship. This is a subtle but profound trap. The goal of individuation is not a relationship. The goal is to become whole. A relationship, if it comes, is a beautiful byproduct of that wholeness, not its purpose. The moment you make a man the goal, you slip back into the old pattern, and the entire edifice of your inner kingdom is at risk of collapse. The Jungian queen knows that her life is already full, her purpose is already her own, and her happiness is not an external achievement, but an internal state of being. She is not waiting for a man to complete her story, she is writing it herself. She has become the wise crone and the powerful maiden, the fierce warrior and the gentle lover, all in one. She has integrated the light and the shadow, the masculine and the feminine, and in doing so, she has found her own sacred center. Her power comes not from what she can get from others, but from what she is and from what she has become. This is the final initiation. This is the journey back to yourself. And so, we stand at the end of the script, the final act of this grand drama of the soul. The curtain falls not on a tragic ending, but on a profound beginning, the beginning of a life lived entirely on your own terms. The woman who began this journey, lost in the labyrinth of her own projections, has finally found her way home. She is no longer defined by the men she loved or the men who failed her. Her identity is not a reaction to another person's behavior, but an expression of her own inner truth. The external world, once a source of her greatest pain, is now merely a stage upon which she acts, fully conscious and fully present. The final culmination of all this work is emotional freedom, It is the state where a man's presence brings joy, but his absence does not bring sorrow. It is the understanding that you are the source of your own happiness, and no one, no matter how charming or charismatic, can either give you that happiness or take it away. This is not a cold, unfeeling state. It is a profound and unshakable inner peace. It is the tranquility of the Stoic sage, combined with the passionate, creative fire of the Jungian queen. You have become your own best friend, your own fierce protector, and your own greatest love. This is the message I leave you with. Your power was never external. It was never in his hands. It was always, always within you. The man who hurt you was merely a mirror showing you where you had forgotten your own power. He was a catalyst, a necessary moment of chaos that forced you to turn inward and reclaim the parts of yourself you had given away. Your true initiation was not the love story that failed, but the hero's journey back to yourself. You have walked through the fire of heartbreak and emerged not as a victim but as an alchemist, turning pain into wisdom and wounds into strength. Now you are free, free from the need for external validation, free from the endless chase, free to simply be. You are a sovereign being, and your kingdom is the quiet, confident stillness of your own heart. This is not the end of a story, it is the beginning of your life.